All right, fight fans, UFC 326 is coming in hot. And if you're watching without a little bit of skin in the game, what are we even doing here? DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of UFC, is bringing you a little bit closer to the action. Max Holloway is running it back against Charles Oliveira in a highly anticipated rematch. New customers, turn $5 into $200 if your bet wins, paid in bonus bets. Stay in on the action and use your bonus bets on DraftKings same-game parlays. This gives you a shot at an even bigger payout. Do you love the thrill of live betting? Because DraftKings has got you covered. Bet live on star player props and in-action fights right as they happen. If sports betting is not yet available in your state, don't worry. You can still join in on all the fun with DraftKings Daily Fantasy Sports and have a shot at cash prizes. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use the promo code Sonnen to turn $5 into $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Guys, I had a front row seat to the Arman Tsarukyan Giorgio brawl. Here's what I saw, all right? Now, I feel like 10 seconds into this match, and by 10 seconds, I'm attempting to illustrate for you, not the actual time, but it felt like it was right away. It felt like the match started, and all of a sudden, Giorgio slaps Arman. Arman gives him a receipt, which is to slap him back. Now, there is a rule in wrestling, a code, a policy, if you will. It's largely used in the training room, but if a guy does something to you, you do it back to him as hard or harder, and you do it immediately. So if a guy smacks you, just for example, you don't wait 2 minutes and then get it back. You got to do it right away. And it's the way of calming him down. Why it sounds like it's going to escalate things, it actually has the opposite effect. It calms the guy down. Well, hey, one got away from me there. All right, you got I get it. And it works about every time. So it kind of looked to me as though it was one of these situations, but the referee got involved. And at this point, Giorgio is telling the referee, hey, that's illegal, disqualify him. He just hit me. This is not a fight. He hit me, I'm not going to wrestle him. You are going to disqualify him, and I win. There's a time and a place for that. But I'll just tell you, in this, an open hand slap is confusing in wrestling at times. Why? Well, you're allowed to do that. You're allowed to make contact. I've seen guys, there's a technique called a collar tie, and a guy will make it very hard. He'll get away with it if he maintains contact. So if he reaches for the neck really hard, but he maintains contact with the neck, he gets away with it. If he hits at the neck but doesn't maintain the contact, it gets viewed as a slap. Like it's an interesting thing. It's up to the referee, and the referee said, no, I'm giving him a warning, which is within my discretion to do. We're going to keep wrestling. And Giorgio's saying, no, we're not. You're going to disqualify him for cheating. And the referee says no. All right, so they restart the match. It's not that long after the slaps start going again. And they're basically following the rule. One guy slaps him, okay, I've got to do back equally or harder what he just did to me, and I've got to do it right now. And this time the referee gets involved. He does call a caution. He gives 1 point. Match starts going again. Referee's got to break it again, but he's got to go caution and one the other way. Right, at one point he gives Giorgio a point, then he's got to give Arman a point. And so this whole thing is interesting. Like, this match was supposed to be about takedowns, but we got scores going up on the board that could decide the outcome of the contest that have nothing to do with a takedown. Now, guys get into a couple of flurries. In the whole match, 6 minutes, we see 2 flurries, which, by the way, were worth the price of admission. It turns out Arman Tsarukyan is an excellent wrestler. I mean, really an excellent wrestler. It turns out Giorgio is tough as an old leather boot. Like, Giorgio came out of this thing, this guy was dog tough. Once he put the mental side, the whole, hey, he's violating the rules. When he put that aside, compartmentalized and went into warrior mode, this guy was the real deal. Okay, great contest. One official takedown in the entire match goes to Giorgio. Few extra points on the board. There was some push-outs. Arman wins the match. Now, Giorgio is down and Arman's on top of him. So time's up. Time's up, match is over. And I'm making a case for him, by the way. I got to tell you, as the match was going, I didn't want anybody disqualified. wrestling gets a little rough, and there are some things that are on the line, but that's where the referee breaks in. He gives a warning. He can give a caution. He can start taking points, and he has the option to disqualify. But I felt like this referee just called it perfectly. And I felt like everything that was done, while intense, was within the rules of wrestling. That's sharing with what I saw. Time is now out. So you're now not operating with the confines of what's allowed in wrestling. The wrestling is over. The match is over. But they're still in what's known as the competition area. And this is a rule that a lot of people don't know about, but when you're still in the competition area, whether time is out or not, the referee does still have a level of authority and discretion. By example, if this was a kids' wrestling tournament, they would have both been thrown out of the tournament. But all right, let's just go back to this position. Giorgio's down. Match ends. Giorgio's down. Arman's on top. Giorgio says or does something, I assume. I must tell you, I did not hear him. And I did not see him do anything, but I assume he did or said something, because Tsarukyan instantly pushes him, which because the match is over, Giorgio's not really like in defensive mode, and so Giorgio falls over. This puts Tsarukyan on top, and now a closed fist comes. That I can't make a case for. In wrestling, and in the world of intensity, open hand. It's got to be an open hand. That can be a reach, that can be a push, that can be a collar tie, that can be a slap, but it's an open hand. When the hand closes, you've now got a punch. All right. I have never in my life seen anything like this in wrestling. I've seen things very close in boxing, and there was even an event in MMA that involved Mayhem Miller, Jake Shields, the Diaz boys. You guys might recall this. But in wrestling, I've never seen anything like this, and I've seen fights in wrestling. This turned into a melee. What's the distinction? Well, people that weren't involved in the match came to the mat, and in wrestling, that just doesn't happen. Now, you get a number of people whose hearts are in the right place, which is I'm coming out here to break it up. And the concept of break it up, you've got to be very careful with that. Because the warriors in the arena don't know what your intent is. And the warriors in the arena, if they do not recognize you, are instantly going to assume you're with the other guy. So if you're now close to me, you're a threat, and they're going to start fighting. This is what happened. But the fight turns in from 2 people, 3 including the referee, to 5 people, and then you get the cornermen out there, which of course are just trying to get their athletes out of the way. Then you get the security, then you get the leaders, then you get members of the audience. There must have been 200 people involved in this. There must have been. A friend of mine named Willie. Willie is a leader at Real American Freestyle. So Willie is one of the people that's going to come to the mat and calm everybody down. He knows Arman, he knows Giorgio, he knows the cornermen. You, Sid, you, go that way. Something happens. Willie ends up getting his leg broken in 2 different spots. One of the founders of Real American Freestyle, Izzy Martinez, who's in the same spot, which is I know everybody here. I'm going to come out and take charge of this event. He ends up getting punched twice. It was a mess. And we let it go. We don't talk about it. This is poor sportsmanship. This was a bad moment. Make it go away. Ariel Helwani had a different approach. Ariel Helwani plays a clip of this riot? Melee? And Ariel puts a caption that says, "Do a rematch." It kind of reset things in my mind, right? One thing about sport is we move forward. And how do you make lemonade out of lemons? And I'm not sure that Ariel didn't just nail it. I'm not sure that he's not right. You bring these guys who appear to have unfinished business. You calm them down. You let them know, here's the rules. Here's what we agreed to. And you do it again.